Yo YouTube, what's crackin' like a jackin'? It's Waffle Man video, and I'm gonna give you my NFL picks for week 1 of the NFL season. The game already started, the season already started. It started on Thursday, and the Broncos beat the Ravens. Now let me tell you what happened here. I was watching the game and I fell asleep, and when I was watching the game, the Broncos had 0 points. It was the second quarter. It was like 8 minutes left in the second quarter, and they had 0 points. And then later on, I wake up and it's the fourth quarter, 2 minutes left, and I see that the Broncos have 49 points. And I'm like, what the hell? How did this happen? And then I look at the stats, look at the box score. I see that Peyton Manning has 7 touchdowns, man. 7 touchdowns. I mean, I'm like, at the beginning of the game, I was like, all right, Peyton Manning's doing all right. You know, looking like that old Peyton Manning that does all right sometimes. But then this guy just explodes and has 7 touchdowns, man. You can't say anything about this guy. This guy is definitely a top 3 quarterback. Right now, I'd say he is better than Eli Manning, even though Eli Manning still has 2 rings. But Eli Manning's still my man, and Giants are still my team. But anyways, let me talk about my fantasy football team. I have Eli Manning at quarterback, Ray Rice at running back, Reggie Bush at running back, Julio Jones at wide receiver, Greg Jennings at wide receiver. I got Jimmy Graham at tight end, Stevie Johnson as my flex, Broncos defense as my defense, of course, and I have Matt Prater as my kicker. So I have 2 people from Broncos on my starting lineup, but I think I have a nice team. I mean, Eli Manning could get some touchdowns sometimes. You know, he gets a lot of touchdowns sometimes, throws a lot, and you know Ray Rice is a beast. Reggie Bush sometimes does good, and Julio Jones is a beast young wide receiver. You know Greg Jennings could catch. You know Jimmy Graham is probably the best tight end in football right now, other than Rob Gronkowski, who's injured right now anyways. Stevie Johnson, you know, he's a cool flex. Broncos defense, I like the Broncos defense. Matt Prater is a good kicker because he'll get a lot of, you know, easy scores from Peyton Manning driving the ball down with the Broncos team. And you know, my bench is not bad either. You know, I got Josh Freeman, Emmanuel Sanders, Jeremy Curley, Dan Bailey, Zach Miller, and Tim Tebow. I just took Tim Tebow for laughs, but anyways, let's get on to the season and the schedule. I thought the Broncos were going to win the first game, so yeah, I guess I'm already right already. So Sunday, September 8th, New England at Buffalo. Obviously, New England's going to win this. I mean, it's a no-brainer. Cincinnati at Chicago. I'm actually going to take... I'll take Chicago because Chicago has a tough defense and they're at home. Miami at Cleveland. Well, both teams are okay, but I feel like Miami's going to win just because they might have a little bit more experience than Cleveland. I mean, Cleveland's pretty young. They're pretty bad still, too. Atlanta at New Orleans. Falcons, Matt Ryan. Tony Gonzalez is back. They don't have Michael Turner anymore, but New Orleans has Drew Brees. And I guess they have an okay defense, but New Orleans is pretty nice, and the Falcons have pretty good defense. So I think I might take the Falcons with winning over with a little bit. Maybe I'd say 30-27, or maybe something like 30-24, 30-23. Tennessee, Tennessee at Pittsburgh is also at 1 o'clock, but Tennessee at Pittsburgh, obviously I'm taking the Pittsburgh Steelers. Tampa Bay at the New York Jets. Tampa Bay Buccaneers have a decent team. You know, they have Doug Martin at running back, Josh Freeman, and the Jets have Geno Smith. So you know what, the Jets have always been a joke, and it's a home game from the Jets. But you know what, I think I might take Tampa Bay. Minnesota at Detroit. I'm gonna take the Detroit Lions. They have a tough defense. Matthew Stafford throws the hell out of the ball, and you know he has Calvin Johnson to back him up, and they also have Reggie Bush now. So that's gonna be a good matchup. But Detroit's going to win, I think. Oakland at the Colts. Oakland has Terrell Pryor starting quarterback, so I don't know what he's going to do. I'm not sure he's going to be all used to it. I think it's going to take some time for him to work in that offense. So I'm going to take the Colts, and because Andrew Luck is a beast in my opinion. Seattle at Carolina. Panthers, Cam Newton's been doing okay last season, but Cam Newton's still nice. But however, Russell Wilson is a beast. I love Russell Wilson's game, and I love Seattle's defense. And even though it's not a home game for Seattle, I think they can still win this. Now, Kansas City at Jacksonville. The thing about Kansas City is that they have Alex Smith. And Alex Smith threw 70% of his passes that were completed last season. Even though when he got injured, Colin Kaepernick took over on the 49ers. But the Kansas City Chiefs are going to win this game. They have Dwayne Bowe at wide receiver, a good quarterback, and don't forget about their running back Jamal Charles, because he can flat out just hit home runs all the time if he wanted to. Arizona at St. Louis. I'm going to take Arizona only because Arizona got Carson Palmer, and Carson Palmer to Larry Fitzgerald with that defense. That's going to be a nice team right there. Green Bay at San Francisco. That's going to be a good game. Last time this matchup happened, San Francisco won. So I'm going to take the 49ers again. Because Colin Kaepernick is a good quarterback. He's not bad. He's not the greatest quarterback. But they have Frank Gore, running back. They have a great, spectacular defense. And Green Bay sometimes has problems with their defense, but Aaron Rodgers might be able to hold it out, stick it out for them. But I'm going to still take the 49ers. Now the New York Giants at Dallas Cowboys Stadium. This is going to be a great matchup, a great Sunday night football game to start the season. Come on, the Giants and the Cowboys. I'm going to have to take my Giants. I just don't trust Tony Romo with the ball anyways. Dallas sometimes has some question marks. And I just like Eli Manning throwing the ball. And sure, the Giants have some question marks as well. We lost one of our running backs. Victor Cruz is still questionable with his injuries. And Hakeem Nicks has looked a little bit, okay past couple of seasons. But, I think the Giants will pull it out. Philadelphia at Washington. I'd like to say that Philadelphia will not win this game because I like Robert Griffin III. And I just don't trust Michael Vick. Michael Vick he's a starting quarterback, but don't be surprised if Michael Vick loses his starting quarterback job. Because the Philadelphia Eagles, I think they're just the worst in the division, to be honest. I just think that in the NFC East, they're the worst in the division. And the last game, Houston at San Diego, I'm going to take the Houston Texans. They're a tough team, tough defense right there. Arian Foster's going to be having less minutes because of his injuries, but Matt Schaub is still nice. But anyways, YouTube, I'm out. Peace.